Good morning, everybody. Sorry for the way I look, but I usually always look like this. Ever since my job at Cook Foods ceased, I have been working for myself, cleaning houses, and of course, what I got going on with the German Shepherds. There's Miss Tova. Say hi, Tova. Oh, Tova. Miss Tova. Titus is back there too, but he's laying down. Okay, sit back. Let Mom make the video, okay? Be a good girl. We'll be there in about an hour. Go sit back. Back up. Good girl. I have been doing pretty well. Had some frustrating things take place with the house cleaning. Of course, anytime you choose to work for yourself, self-employed, it takes time to build up clients. And like any other relationship, you mesh with some people and some people you don't, so. And there's always people, there's cleaners out there, like anything, like any situation or scenario in life, there's always a possibility for good, there's always a possibility for bad, And I'm sure there's some really not so good house cleaners, as there are not so good clients to clean for, But, you want to love and be good to everybody, but you do have to establish boundaries, And I've done this for years, and I haven't had this business before in the area I'm in now. I'm from Southeast Tennessee, around Bradley, Polk County, the mountains there, and I now live in Northeast Tennessee, but previously I had moved to South Dakota for quite a few years. And I had a very successful cleaning business in South Dakota. But moving back here and not knowing anybody here takes time to build up clientele. And it's usually things like that, always by word of mouth, always. I had a client. For my clients, people need to understand something. There is a difference, a very distinct difference between a maid or a house cleaner. I'm a house cleaner. Some differences, okay? Sometimes, not always, the maid is in-house, lives with you. That's not always, but sometimes. Never will a house cleaner live with you. Okay? Maids do things like not just cleaning, but cooking, running errands, oftentimes taking care of children, helping with homework, things like that. A maid service is usually you have one, maybe two maids that are there all the time, at least in daytime hours. Home cleaners don't do that. We're in, we're out as soon as possible. In the history of my experience, I've never spent more than, and we're talking about serious deep cleans, 1, maybe 2 full 8-hour days, depending on like if it was a hoarding clean or something like that, because I'm not going to take anything too crazy, especially when I'm working by myself. Sorry about the sun, you guys. But a typical job of mine, I'm there 3, maybe 4 hours working by myself. And sometimes I charge by the hour, sometimes I charge by the job. It depends. There's so many factors that go into that. That's why you always see people asking, well, how do you decide what you're going to charge? And you don't see too many cleaners going and posting videos on what to charge. because it varies so much from person to person as your clients, and it also varies a lot by the cleaner, how much experience they have, how fast they are, how thorough they are too, and that's why a lot of cleaners don't like to go in there and tell other people how to price their jobs, because each little scenario, there's a lot of factors that go into that. Now, I can make a video later and talk about that, and I will. Factors that play into it, and etc. Okay? But I'm chasing a rabbit a little bit here. Let's get back to the difference between maid and a house cleaner. Maid, it's kind of like a butler, in a way. They're servants. Okay? Paid or not paid? Not paid is what we finally did away with, right? People that choose to be servants and be paid for it are maids. House cleaners are not maids, guys. Okay? Another thing that's a difference between a maid and a house cleaner is I'm not picking up after you and your kids. Not doing it. Your personal effects need to be in order when I arrive. Right? So, like, to clean a bedroom, a kid's bedroom, when I go into the child's bedroom, I'm not picking up clothes. I'm not picking up toys. I'm not doing any of that. Alright? I'm not. Now, I do have an option on my price list as add-on that I will do laundry that is in basket, separated, and prepared. Just needs to be thrown in. Okay? I'll do that. I'll even fold them and hang them up for an additional hefty fee because I hate laundry. I'm not ironing. I'm not doing all that. It's something that I can do and get done by the time the rest of the home clean is finished. I draw the line there. That's as far into maid world as I go. I'm not coming in. Some cleaners may do this. They may do dishes. I'm not going to do it. My job is to come in and sanitize, sweep and mop, dust. I'll do the outside of appliances. Inside of appliances gets into deep clean for me. Okay? Some cleaners may be different, and the line can move back and forth on what they consider deep clean and basic clean. Alright? I'm not doing scrubbing baseboards and cleaning blinds and window seals on a basic clean. That's a deep clean. I'm not shampooing carpets on a basic clean. That's a deep clean. I do vacuum and I sweep and mop. Right? I'll wax floors. That's a deep clean. But we are not maids. I'm not walking your dog for you while I'm there. In fact, dogs should be put in a safe, secure location while a cleaner's in your home. We don't need to be worried about tripping over a dog or the dog not wanting us there. It's just too much, and it's not a very polite thing, I don't think, unless you have that relationship with your client. They're familiar with the animal, and the animal does not inhibit them from getting their job done in a timely fashion. But that's the issue I run into more than anything. Is number one, people having a hard time understanding the difference between a deep clean and a basic clean. So I make checklists and itemize what comes with what. Ask your cleaner to give you a checklist to go by. Right? Okay, number 2, house cleaners are not maids, guys. I'm not feeding your dog. I'm not watering your dog. I'm not walking your dog. I'm not bathing your dog. I'm not picking up after your children. When I come into your kids' bedrooms, I should be able to freely dust, sweep and mop, vacuum, and possibly make the bed. Now, I always make the bed, but whether or not I wash the sheets or not is additional service. Right? Okay? Another thing is that people try to do is they sometimes will ask you to go wake somebody up that's sleeping when you get there. I'm not doing that. That's maid service. Not a house cleaner. You know? And I'm a little aggravated about it. I'm not trying to be too aggravated in this video. You know? But, it can be very frustrating. Hi, Titus. There's Titus to say hello. But, it can be very frustrating. But I think just, I'm not sure where the problem lies in the main percentage of the population not understanding this. You know? And then there's people that I know that have had cleaning services probably their whole life and probably grown up with it too in their parents' house. And they're just entitled and feel like you should do whatever they ask. And how dare you if you don't, you know? But we're not going to get along, and I'm not going to work for you if that's the case. I'm not a servant. I'm a professional. So, having said that, my little soapbox rant is over. I've got some hopefully good news coming up about the dogs. Right now, I've got a sable female that's available. She's 14 weeks old. And she is a little cute girl, let me tell you. She's got the sweetest personality. But, I am on my way into Morristown right now to go run a few errands. And I will make another video this evening. That's my plan. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.